Hello, everyone, and welcome to Business 230 Esports Performance Management. My name is Trevor Johnson, and I'll be your instructor through this course. Just a little bit about me. I am a grad of Manchester, graduated from there in 2022, and then spent a couple years as an admissions counselor after that. Then went on to get my master's degree from the University of New Haven, where I got that in esports business. Found myself teaching this course right as I was wrapping up the grad program and working as admissions. So I've just kind of kept on going with it. I currently serve as the head esports coach at Spalding University down in Louisville, Kentucky. A little bit more about my esports history. I did help start Manchester Esports while I was there in undergrad. I led a lot of the creative efforts. I mean, I think I made the YouTube channel, to be completely honest, when we were setting up some of that early stuff. So, it was there from the very beginning when it was the corner room in the basement of East, and then helped put together a lot of the desks and chairs that are in the room there now. So, a lot of love for MU, a lot of love for that program, but now I get to lead my own. So, really, in this course, I'm teaching you what I'm doing day to day. So, let's quick first week introduction, just to kind of go through everything. Here we have the homepage of the Canvas course. Nothing too crazy, just where you can get all the info that you need about everything. If you click all these buttons, you see it. In terms of like how to contact me and stuff throughout the semester, click that professor info button. You have me there, my email, Discord, how to get a hold of me, whichever is best for you. Um, just make sure to add me on Discord, and I'm on there a lot because it has to do with my job. So let me know whatever works best. But I do check my Manchester email at least once a day, so I can answer any questions and stuff that you might have coming through there. Really, for this first video, I just wanted to kind of break down the course, everything that we'll be doing as we kind of go through the semester, talk about the structure for you guys and everything. So first off, here is the course syllabus. This is pretty up to date, and this is how it ended up going through last year. So there's been some adjustments since the first time I made it. This is the structure that worked for us going through the last time I taught this course. So hopefully this is what we can stick to for this one. This first week obviously is short week. We're starting on Wednesday, coming back from the Jan term break. But this is just the intro to esports orgs. All that you have to do this week is a weekly discussion. When we look at the actual modules, you guys will see that the first 4 weeks are available for you. The reason I do this is because we kind of, each week in weekly discussion, kind of builds toward the next project coming up. So essentially, these first 3, 4 weeks are going to lead into what that big first project is going to be. And I'll see that as kind of we break through and kind of look at the modules and stuff. So this, okay, is the student view. This should be what you guys can see in terms of modules that are published. Um, each week is set up kind of the same. This is an online asynchronous course, so I wanted to make sure that you all have kind of everything that you need just by clicking on. You can see the org project if you guys want to start thinking about that and looking ahead. It's not due till the end of February, but it is nice to know as some of these big things are worth a good portion of your grade. Um, some examples there of someone who did really well on it. So it'd be nice to kind of see what I'm looking for. Module 1 is where we're at this first week. But then we have 2, 3, and 4, with module 4 being the same week that the org project is due. We will have 3 different big organizational projects to go through. So that's why they're all kind of up here separately. Click back to the syllabus to look at some of this. So you can see we have org project 1, 2, and then 3. A little bit shorter time frame between these, but this one isn't as big necessarily. And then we go back to some weekly discussions, and then we're going to end with some monetization stuff and discussions to go with that. Finals week, we don't have an in-person final. The final presentation is actually presenting some of these last 2 projects there. So everything that we're doing in the course is kind of building to the next thing and relates to it. Last thing I wanted to do was just give a bunch of random busy work. So please pay attention to each weekly discussion as we go through. I promise that it will help you as we move further in the course. Some things I want to point out over here on the right side of the screen, the weight of what each thing is worth. So final is worth 25% of your grade. The monetization projects toward the end are worth 20. Weekly assignments are worth 20% of your grade, so please make sure that you do them. And then the organization projects is by far the biggest portion of the course, being worth 35% of the grade. One thing to note on the weekly assignments is I will drop your lowest two scores on the weekly discussions. But what that means is it's in the syllabus. I don't accept late work unless there is a good reason for it, and I would want documentation for that, not emailing me at 2 a.m. saying, "Oh my goodness, I forgot to do it. Can you please open it back up?" That's not gonna work. Everything closes after it's due, and if it's closed without an exception that is acceptable, you will not be able to turn something in. Um, on the projects, I do accept revisions. So I know Dr. Kong used to do this. Not sure if he still does, but if you like turn in org project 1, don't get the grade that you wanted on it. By the time the org project 2 is ready to turn in, you can turn in a revised project 1 and get up to half credit back on what you missed. So say you got a 50 out of 100 on org project 1, you turn it back in, fix everything that I critiqued. The most that you could get on that project is a 75 because that's getting the half of the points that you missed back. Um, I think that pretty much covers general core stuff. I do really recommend that you look through the actual syllabus, kind of read through that. You can get some brief descriptions on each of the projects ahead of time. When each project comes up, there is an explainer video for every project that I will publish so that it's not tied into the weekly video and that we can always kind of click back to it and see it. Um, what else is there? I think that pretty much covers the general stuff. So we can look at like click through this first module for us. So every module has a to do where you can see what we're talking about, that you need to watch the video. There may be some articles to read along with that week, and then what you need to complete each week. So this is kind of the first thing you should click on every week as you go to the module, so you can see everything that we have to do. Uh, this is the video. Hopefully you found it and are watching it. That's kind of the first thing to do. And then after that, we have some readings. These are just some general things for you guys to freshen up on. Finding articles like this, some of them are written by like business people who aren't sure what esports are. Some of them are like esports people who are being very performative in their jobs. Not not exactly the go-to, but I think there is some decent stuff here in terms of the basics. So just kind of pick through and read those. I think it's just a good kind of intro explainer for esports orgs. And then next on the to-do is the weekly discussion. So here's pretty much what each weekly discussion will look like as we get there. Everything is due. Your initial post needs to be completed by Friday before 11:59, before the end of the day, and then all your replies should be due by Sunday at 11:59. So I can see when things are posted, and I can see edits and edit history and stuff. So please complete your initial discussion by Friday to give your classmates enough time to reply to your discussion. Pretty standard. I say about 300 words. I'm not going to be super strict on that as long as each question is like answered fully. So if you answer each of these bullet points with like a one sentence, you're not doing the assignment. Um, I say try to give each question at least its own paragraph here. And what I mean by that is just a nice thought out answer. Like in your mind, what is an esports organization? Don't just say professional esports team. Do not answer in bullet points. Give me a good few sentences about it, and we won't have any issues. Um, yeah, really the biggest focus here is thoughtful responses. Uh, old underlined right here. You must write these yourself. Please do not use AI to just spit out discussions for me. It's not going to help you. These discussions are meant to gauge where you guys are in terms of esports knowledge, and then to kind of help you as you build your projects. So, not doing them is only going to hurt you when it comes to project time, and then you're going to lose points on the discussions. It's very easy to tell when someone uses AI. Um, and then from there, gonna mess with your discussion grades, and that's worth 35%, or not your discussion, but your org projects. That's worth 35%. So if you don't actually do it and learn the stuff, you're gonna struggle when it comes to project time. I think that covers it. These questions here, for the first week are really for me to gauge where everyone is in terms of like not just esports knowledge, but like what you think an organization is. And then we can jump in next week with like some of the specifics, what we're looking for the projects, what kind of organization that you'll be building, stuff like that. So, in your mind, what is an esports organization? This could mean a lot of things. This is where I kind of want to see what your background, your knowledge base is for esports orgs. Um, what makes an org successful? Is it money, people, championships, all that kind of stuff? And then give me an example of an esports organization that you think is successful, and kind of with that explainer as to why it's successful. Yeah, that's what we're looking at for the first week. Nothing too crazy. Very much just an intro, short week. Only having a couple days. I don't want to get like wonky with like extending due dates into halfway through next week, but then your week 2 stuff is due. So have these things done by this weekend, and we'll be good. These videos will post um, usually every Sunday night, Monday morning. I My biggest thing is I want to record these weekly because esports changes so much, so that I don't want to just like post all my ones from last year. That feels unfair to you guys. So look for these to be posted. If it's going to be late, I will make an announcement. So just make sure that you're checking those and reading those. Other than that, I hope you have a good first week back, and a good spring semester. I'll see you guys next week.